I took one short today on Nasdaq in this backtesting day. Now I was overall I'm still bullish going into this day, but on this particular day at market open I was bearish. But the reason I'm bullish is because internal sell side's been taken. We're displacing higher. We are running through bearish imbalances. This is the draw on liquidity. Now there was an SMT here with ES at this high. ES has already taken out this high. This is also an SMT, and then we also had an internal SMT going into market open. So that's kind of why I was bearish, is because I just want to see a rebalance towards all of these generated lows here before we continue higher. So going into the morning, we had SMT at previous day's high here, and then the market opens here, 8:30. NQ trades higher, takes out the pre-market high. ES does not take out this high, so we have internal manipulation here. SMT gets put in because ES doesn't take this high. Let me just drag ES over right quick. As you can see, this is the pre-market high, and then market open is this right here. So ES does not take this high, NQ does. Bearish SMT gets put in. Now, I actually ended up taking my entry on the 15-second chart because basically this is the bullish imbalance that gets put in on NQ when the market opens to run higher to sweep out internal buy side. So I want to see this get ran through. So I see the market start to sell off. We initially hold the imbalance, get bought up, but then we get a big, massive candle here selling off, turning this into an inverse. So that is where I take my entry. Short is here. Now I literally had my stop like right here. It was like right here. Like I got stopped out to the tick. Let me show you the executions. So this was my trade. Entered here. If I would have put my stop at the high, I should just do it. Like I always just put it a little bit below the high for some stupid reason, but I need to just put it at the high because it will save me a bunch of losses. But anyways, I ended up getting stopped out to the tick, and then the trade eventually does play out. Now, why did I get stopped out? Because we had this bullish SMT here. So this is kind of like the end of this like really obvious low resistance liquidity run right here. This is like, this low at 6 a.m. here. ES ends up taking it out before NQ does because think about it, guys. This is why I should have been paying more attention and why I should not have got stopped out on the setup. Since ES is the asset that puts in the bearish SMT at the high, notice ES is the asset that fails to take this high. NQ does take this high. So it makes sense that this low is going to get taken out on ES before it gets taken out on NQ because ES is the more bearish asset. If ES fails to take this high, it means that ES is more bearish than NQ. And if ES is more bearish than NQ, then it makes sense logically that we're going to take this low on ES before we take it on NQ. So SMT gets put in. Obviously, there's going to be some sort of bullish reaction from that SMT. So this was the reaction of the SMT getting put in as market gets bought up, stops me out to the tick. Like I said, I should have had my stop at the high, especially when I see this SMT get put in. So market stops me out to the tick. We end up getting displacement. We hold the fair value gap here, and then the model ends up getting complete, and it plays out very nice. Now, why was I targeting this low? Because this is an intermediate low inside of this 5-minute fair value gap. So if we go to like the 5-minute chart here, you can see. Oh my gosh, this is glitching out. Hang on. Click refresh right quick. Can we lock in, please? Okay, so 5-minute fair value gap right here. This is a low inside of a fair value gap called an intermediate low. This is a very strong draw on liquidity. So I'm not gonna get ambitious and target all the way down here, all the way down here. I'm just gonna take what I'm confident in, which is this low. This is just a very obvious swing low to me. It's an intermediate low inside of the 5-minute fair value gap. And I expect to see, even though I'm still bullish on the bigger time frame, I expect to see at least some sort of reaction from this bearish SMT, from this bearish SMT here. Because like I said, ES has already taken out this high too. And then we had this internal sell model going into market open with the SMT with buy side getting swept. 15-second fair value gap gets ran through. Like I said, I just got stopped out because I was being a silly goose and didn't put my stop at the high. So I literally got stopped to the tick, and trade ends up playing out very nice. So I actually want to see something right quick. So on the 1-minute chart, I want to see the last move higher that sweeps liquidity before the market displaces is this. So I want to see if standard deviation ends up holding, because what could very likely happen here is we're going to go to 2 to 2.5 standard deviation, and then this will hold bullish, and then we'll end up rebalancing to equilibrium of this price leg that gets put in here. So I just want to see right quick if the market wants to respect standard deviation. I mean, okay, so we end up selling off all the way down to um what is this? A 4 hour? This was the 1 hour, wasn't it? Yeah, we end up selling all. Okay, so we're gonna go to this internal low here, obviously. Okay, yeah, so internal low gets taken. So obviously this entire move does end up playing out. But I mean, like I said, low hanging fruit. What I'm confident in is this intermediate low inside of this 5 minute gap, which is why that's what I targeted. But I mean, clearly we end up dumping all the way to Narnia. But I mean, we get like a little bit of a reaction from standard deviation, but then we just continue to sell off. But I mean, overall, it's a pretty clean model. I mean, very clean model with all of these SMTs. I just should have been more focused, like more aware of this SMT here, and then put my stop at this high as soon as I see this SMT get put in, because I mean, a lot of the times we'll get some sort of reaction from the bullish SMT before the model continues to do what it's already going to do, which is target sell side liquidity. So yeah, not a bad trade. Just should have had my stop a little bit higher, and that would have been a win. But overall, pretty clean model for this day.